Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news. All right, Browns fans, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you is pretty wild and could really shake up the quarterback situation in Cleveland. If you've been following the Browns this season, you know it's been a roller coaster. Injuries, surprises, and some strategic moves that have left us all wondering what's really going on behind the scenes. And now, with this latest report about Shedeur Sanders, things are heating up even more. So let's dive into what's happening and what it could mean for our beloved Browns moving forward. First off, let's set the scene. The Browns' offseason was supposed to be about solidifying that quarterback position, right? After all, it's the most crucial spot on the field, and heading into the 2023 season, many fans were optimistic that we'd finally see a stable, competitive QB under center. We all hoped that Deshaun Watson would be back to his best, leading us deep into the playoffs. But the reality has been quite different. Injuries, inconsistent play, and some questionable decisions from the coaching staff have kept us on edge. And with the draft behind us, the team made some interesting choices in the quarterback room. Now, that's where the story gets intriguing. The Browns' plan, as it turns out, might have been to keep Shedeur Sanders on the sidelines all season long. According to recent reports, Cleveland's coaching staff, led by head coach Kevin Stefanski, did not intend to play Sanders at all during his rookie year. In fact, it seems the entire organization was aligned in thinking that this year would be a redshirt year for Sanders, meaning he'd sit, learn, and develop without the pressure of game action. That's not uncommon for young quarterbacks. Sometimes teams prefer to let them watch from the sidelines, absorb the game, and come into their own when the time is right. But what makes this situation so interesting is the timing and the circumstances. Shortly after the draft, Stefanski and the Browns' staff began relaying that Sanders wouldn't see the field unless things got really ugly. They wanted him to focus on learning from the sidelines, rather than jumping into the fire right away. This kind of approach is understandable, especially with a rookie quarterback who might still need time to adjust to NFL speed and complexity. The Browns have been cautious with their young talent after all, and that's often a smart move. However, it's worth noting that this approach has come under scrutiny. Cleveland fans, you know how quickly things can change in the NFL, and especially with the quarterback position. Many of us believed that Sanders, given his talent and potential, would be given a shot sooner rather than later. But the team's actions suggest otherwise. The report indicates that after the trade for Bailey Zappe, Stefanski was leaning toward promoting Zappe from the practice squad to be the backup, leaving Sanders in the background. And then, just when things seemed to be settling, the situation took a turn. Recently, the Browns' organization was faced with a new challenge. Shedeur Sanders, who was in concussion protocol, might have been cleared to play, but that's far from certain. Usually, players in concussion protocol need a week or more to be fully cleared, especially for a contact sport like football. So the team now has a decision to make. Do they prepare Sanders as the starter, or do they promote Zappe to fill that role for Week 12 against the Raiders? And as Stefanski has publicly said that Deshaun Watson will be the guy when healthy, there's a lot of moving parts here. What does all this mean for the Browns? Well, for starters, it signals that the team might be playing a longer game with Sanders. Maybe they see him as a future franchise quarterback and prefer to develop him slowly, even if that means sitting him this entire season. It's a common strategy. Sometimes you need patience to avoid rushing a young guy into a high-pressure role. But in Cleveland, fans are used to more immediate results, especially when the team has been competitive in recent years. On the other hand, there's a conspiracy theory brewing among some fans and analysts that the Browns' front office might be intentionally holding Sanders back for reasons beyond just development. Some speculate that the team could be waiting for the right moment, or maybe even considering whether Sanders is the long-term answer. It's important to remember that these are just rumors, but they do add an interesting layer to the ongoing quarterback saga. What's clear is that Kevin Stefanski remains committed to his current plan, at least publicly. He's been emphasizing that Deshaun Watson is the starter when healthy, and that the team is focused on winning with him. But behind closed doors, there's no doubt that the organization is also watching Sanders closely, evaluating his progress, and considering how he fits into the bigger picture. The Browns have a history of patience with their young quarterbacks. Think about Baker Mayfield and how he was brought along. But every situation is different. Now, looking ahead, Browns fans, it's vital to understand that this kind of quarterback management isn't unusual. Teams often take a cautious approach with rookies, especially those with high potential but limited NFL experience. The key question is whether the Browns are truly committed to developing Sanders long-term, or if they're playing a waiting game to see how he adapts. Given the recent developments, it's likely that we won't see Sanders start a game this season unless absolutely necessary, especially if concussion protocols keep him sidelined. But let's not forget the big picture. Cleveland is still in the playoff hunt, and with a talented roster led by stars like Nick Chubb and a solid defense, the Browns are capable of making some noise this year. The quarterback situation has been a roller coaster, no doubt, but that's part of being a Browns fan, expecting the unexpected. We've seen moments of brilliance from our team, and we believe that with the right strategic moves, this team can still contend for a deep playoff run. Of course, the fans' frustration with the quarterback situation is palpable. Many of us want to see Sanders take the field and show what he can do at the NFL level. But at the same time, we understand that patience is key. Developing a young quarterback isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And Cleveland fans are no strangers to patience. Just look at how we've supported our team through thick and thin, always believing that brighter days are ahead. In the meantime, the Browns will continue to prepare for the upcoming games, managing injuries, adjusting game plans, and keeping an eye on the long-term vision. Whether Sanders gets a shot this year or not, the organization's focus remains on building a winning team, and that includes making tough decisions at the quarterback position. We all know that in the NFL, nothing is set in stone, and the landscape can change in a heartbeat. So, as fans, what should we do? Stay supportive, stay patient, and keep the faith. These stories about Sanders and the quarterback plans are part of the bigger narrative of this season. It's about growth, resilience, and the pursuit of excellence. The Browns are always about fighting back, and this season is no different. We believe in our team, in our coaching staff, and most importantly, in our future stars. Shedeur Sanders might just be a part of that future, or maybe not. Either way, we're in this together. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.